is apply digital literacy. What makes us to do apply digital literacy when we are doing counseling? Again, nowadays, we have most of the things that we are doing, even this class, it is in this unit of apply digital literacy somehow. Because we are using gadgets. What makes us to do apply digital literacy? When you go to pay your bills, you are using digital skills. When you are maybe booking your train, you are booking your maybe flight, you are also using the digital skills. So it is cutting again across that it is necessary for anybody in any career to know at least some basic skills. Even I don't know if we have a Maasai brother or sister, I think Betty Sinoi. Yeah, that one should be from Maasai Rad. I did school in Maasai Rad. So even when they are maybe buying the animal feeds, they are also using the technology. Even one of the adverts, we see them selling ng'ombe kwa online. So like there is nothing nowadays we can say that does not apply to digital literacy. The pastors too, they are using a lot of digital skills. So we are in the right place. So those will be our units for the semester, for this module. We are having one core, that's the provide basic counseling services, and 2 basic units, that is apply communication skills and apply digital skills. So when we are talking of every day, so we are having for the core units. Who can tell us how many days we have core units from the timetable? Somebody who is checking the timetable, how many days for the core units? Should I nominate somebody? Kare.
Is it 13 days? Sorry, 14 days?
14 days, very true. We are having 14 days for the core unit, that's to provide basic counseling. And then how many days for communication? How many days for communication?
2 days.
2 days. How many days for digital skills?
Is it what? 2.
2. So, and then we have the days for exams. So
yes,
that makes it how many days? I want you to talk back to me. Today, I don't have many questions to ask, so these are the ones that I can ask. How many days are those in total?
Okay, so that's 30. Okay, actually, basic counseling is 13 days, and then 2 days communication, that makes it 15, and then digital 2, which makes it 17, and then the exam 18.
So, what will happen when we are going, like every day when we meet, whatever is indicated is what is supposed to happen for that day. The timetable is the one that guides us on what to do every day. Possibly there is a day that you feel like maybe we talked so much, maybe somebody raised an issue, we talked over it, or maybe a certain unit, we took a little bit of time. So it means next week we have to squeeze in to accommodate that if you don't do it as an assignment. But of course you can expect assignments to come along the way. Also teamwork will come in, group work, so that you are able also to interact with each other and learn from each other at a close range. Right now, like we are around 21. Like if we are all to say something, you'll find there are a number of people who will not say anything. So, but when you are in a group of 4, you can be sure you will have to say something. Nobody of you from the 4 will like go without saying something. So we'll have group works. Then something else that we can pick, it's what other than maybe the lessons and all that, what else do you have? We have a place for PD. You can note, like in day 2, The last two parts, they have PD, that is taught, PD, and benefits. So, personal development. Like, by the time you are done with counseling, you need to have developed yourself a lot. Maybe I can, because of the cars that are passing, I can do away with my video so that you don't get the right all the time. But here I am, even if I'm off the video. So for the PD, that's personal development and also professional development. You will be running things and practicing whatever we run in every day, so that we are able to, like, not just get the theory, but also get the practical bit of it. So for us, when we are talking of every day, it means the 2 days in a week. Every day for us means the 6 hours. So, like, what if we start a lesson yesterday, we might not do the PD, but tomorrow, like now, that is Wednesday, Thursday. Now on Thursday, we will do the PD that is covering for what we did yesterday. So that's our day. Then something else that it's good to bring about, it's journaling. Journaling, we are supposed to journal. And now that we have just started, you can again scroll all the way to the last part, of the timetable. And there they are even giving us a way that we can write a journal. So I believe you will be going through that, and you can even now do your first journal. So every week you will be doing a journal in this part. So when you are journaling, mostly you will be touching on, like, your feelings, your emotions. Like, what have I been feeling today? Like, when Rosette was speaking, I think whatever happened made her to be very excited. So I could feel a lot of energy from her. So you're able, if it's Rosette and she's journaling today, possibly she will be like, this morning, I just happened to wake up quite late. I thought I had set an alarm, only to realize that the alarm that I set, I did not maybe attach that it's for Thursday. So I had to wake up, quickly prepare, and I was very anxious that I'm going to get late, knowingly that it is an issue at my workplace if I get late. So I was very nervous, but by God's grace, I got there just 5 minutes before time, and I was able to clock in. The day turned out to be so good. Until maybe, like, I was thinking of this and this and this, and then I was expecting my class to come in, so I had to rush home. I had to pass by the supermarket and grab a few items. I decided maybe not to cook, so I'm eating from KFC, so that I don't have to take time in cooking. So you can add thoughts that were coming up here and there. Maybe something that happened, a behavior, an action, somebody who made you feel like, oh, that person really made me feel offended. Because mostly what we are looking at is how your day was or how your week was, in terms of, it made me feel this way. Maybe after feeling that way, I did this way. I like what I did. I don't like what I did. And I hope you are together. If you are together, again, you can show me the love emoji. If you are together, you can show me the love emoji. If you're feeling like you are left out, you can show me which emoji is that one? The crying emoji, crying, not laughing. If you feel like, I don't know if I'm getting you, you can show me the crying emoji. Okay. So far, no crying emoji, so we can continue. So you should do your journals every day. So Ernest, I'm not sure if that's the crying one, because the one you showed me is the one that is laughing. Okay, Rosette, are you getting it or Miriam? Okay, now Timothy is the one who is crying. Okay, also Miringure is crying. Okay. So I don't know which part exactly to repeat. Maybe I can give you a chance for you to talk. So let's have Timothy. You are the first one. Just ask the question.
Yeah, it's not really that we are not getting what you are saying. Why don't you share the program?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, when it is shared, it is easy to follow because now it's like it's coming from you.
Oh, you already have the program.
Where is it? I haven't seen it.
It is. I just shared it right now in our group chat.
Or group chat.
Yes, yes.
So
So I
that
have
yeah,
been.
I maybe I was not in when you start. Yeah, maybe you started before I arrived there.
Oh, you
So
already here, but it's all right. No problem.
let me see.
Yeah, sure. And I think so. I don't know if it's the one that Soire also tagged or he tagged something else. Mm-hmm. So Mary Ngure, I also saw that you were having something that you would want us to speak more on. Kindly ask the question.
It's a good evening.
Good
It's
evening to you.
about the week journal, the every week journal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a position to tell where are we.
Where are we?
Where are we? That is the connection between now. Yeah, the connection between now our coursework and the journal.
Oh, it's part of our coursework.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so, if that's the question. So I'll say how it is part of our coursework, but maybe I also saw Ernest. Ernest, I am not so sure what you has meant, if it was the crying one or the laughing one, but because I saw yours that time, you can also ask, then I can answer together.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening, Ernest.
Yeah, okay. I also got in late a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was also trying to ask how from the modules now,
Mm-hmm.
because I got in when you were still explaining
Mm-hmm.
how we are going to reconcile systematically those modules in a systematic way. Maybe there's something I've lagged in between. How can I recover it as we move? Otherwise, that's what I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
know. Yes.
Okay. Rosette, I also saw you do something. Maybe you can also ask the question.
No, I don't have a question. I don't have a question.
Mm-hmm. Who else maybe had a query or she wanted to understand something? John?
Me, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm following kindly.
Okay. Timothy, are you back? Like, are you now with us?
Yeah, we are together, so you can proceed.
No, I want you to
But from
read
my
for
side, I
us.
haven't seen the program, but it's okay. You can proceed, no problem. I'm still noting.
Rosette, can you tell John Timothy where to get the program, kindly?
Okay, so the program has been sent on our WhatsApp group. I believe everybody is in a WhatsApp group. So the program has been sent there. And then when you open the program, when you open it, it's on a Word format. So what I did for myself, I've just made it a PDF to make it easier for me to scroll down. So where the teacher is right now, she was talking about the journal, okay, journal, which is part of our learning. And if you look at it down, when you scroll down, you'll see it appendix 3. It is saying writing a learning journal. So in the process of telling us about that one, so she was trying to give an example with the story that I gave. So it was just simply that. But I think it's part of the training, and it is down when you look at the timetable. down when you scroll down. So I think to make it safer for you, easier, that's for me. I've made it, I've saved it as a PDF, and then it makes it easier to scroll down and up. Are we together?
Now, very much together now. I thought, you see, I thought is Lois who was sharing as he takes us through. So I was looking at it from me, I'm using a different gadget, but it's okay now. I've seen it.
No problem, sir.
Okay.
And thank you for that.
Sorry, today I'm not projecting. I'm not sharing like with you here, but because you have it like PDF or the Word, I believe that you can be able to follow with me. You can also print. You can print the same, so that you are able to see clearly where we are at, and you can tick. Like maybe, hey, we did this, we did not do this. Maybe I was not in when the class was running this, and you are able to check it out. So now that I think we are all together, I can continue. So I was talking about the journal, and we have some information there shared about how to write a journal. Allow me to ask, let me see who have not spoken anything today. Very Vincent. Millicent. Hey, Millicent. Are you with us? Millicent? Irene, are you okay? Seems Millicent is not able to talk to me. Okay. Yeah. So Irene, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Are you able to see the timetable?
Yes.
Thank you. So I want you to read for us Appendix 3, where we have writing a running journal.
Appendix 3. Just give me a minute. I got down. So writing a learning journal. You enter a counseling psychology class where you must reflect a lot about learning because it deepens your understanding. The learning journal is introduced to you to help you gain needed insights which enhance your growth. Why keep a learning journal? Sometimes people's eyes can glaze over at the moment of keeping a journal. However, a learning journal can be one, a treasury of good practices. Number two, it can help evaluate actions tried. Number three, it can be a way of capturing things which have been learned. Number four, it's a way to demonstrate impact. Number five, it's not the only way, but it is one way that makes you think. The premise behind keeping a journal is that you cannot improve and change something you are not aware of in the first place. As a method of reflection, a learning journal can help you slow down and evaluate learning experience at your own pitch and pace. How can a learning journal be used? A learning journal is essentially a learning tool for the individual. A learning journal might be used, for example, by individuals to make notes about an experience. This is different from taking case notes. The emphasis on the former is on sense making, while the emphasis on the latter tends to be on description of the event. Over time, patterns and themes emerge about your experiences. When you go through your therapy sessions, you should write journals of what you achieve from your therapy sessions. Eventually, you can write a report of the whole therapeutic journey. A learning journal can become a tool which opens learning beyond the individual. It is sometimes useful to share issues with others. This might be in conjunction with other reflective practices, such as within a coaching or mentoring relationship. Oh, I proceed.
Oh, sorry, I started to talk when I am muted. Thank you so much, Irene, for getting us to understand what makes it so necessary for us to keep a journal. I'm imagining some of us could have been keeping a journal this far, but maybe some of us now will pick it up from this. So when we are in a counseling class, mostly the idea is one, self-awareness. And what we are picking from the journal is that at times we don't recognize something until we are talking, and then we are like, by the way, do you know that has ever happened again? Maybe Rosette, as she was sharing what happened today, as she's writing it down, she realizes, guy, I remember there is also another time I did not do whatever I didn't do today. And now she's thinking, what was happening to me last night? What was happening to me then? So she's thinking of something as a result of her writing it or writing down, like doing the journal or sharing. Like maybe she realizes that day she was a bit, she had been overwhelmed. She was having a lot of things in her plate. And so by the time she was sleeping, maybe she did not do the due vigilance she does normally. So she remembers next time when I am overwhelmed, I have to be very keen so that I don't make the same mistake. So that's as a result of keeping a journal, she's able to recognize patterns. And that's what we also recognize. You will recognize patterns. Other times, you might be writing your journal, and another time you can pick your journal and just read, only to realize that something that happened in May 2024, if you had a journal then, happened in May 2025, and now you are in May 2026. And so you're wondering, what is this that this journal is telling me? So we are able to reflect on our feelings. And something that you can realize is that at times, when you see somebody wanafanya siku yako ikue mbaya, they haribu moods, they haribu your appetite. And so you know something is not okay with this person. If you eat a certain type of food, maybe you have allergies, but you have never noted it. But today you write down, today I went and ate at this and this place, and I had one of a bad stomach, like it has been bad. Then another time when you are writing, you recognize, by the way, it is not about the place. It's about what I ate, because again, today I was in a very different place. I ate this, and this is exactly what I ate last time. And so you realize it's not about the place. It is about maybe the food. So journaling can help you to pick emotions, to pick things that are happening in your life, to pick history, patterns, and all those. So as a counselor, it will also come in handy because you are able to vent. When you write down, I was feeling mad at my boss, you are venting. Everything that you write down, it's part of venting. And so you feel much better after doing a journal. And definitely, when you start to do your therapies, you will find that you can be asked a lot of times to journal. And of course, it's part of the healing process that you would want to heal. So you are required to do journals. When you're starting off, you do journals every week. I will have somebody come train us how to post the journals on your portal. So you will not be sending me the journal in my email or in the WhatsApp. You will just be sending me the email on your portal. I will check it out, and then I will give you comments. So that may be something that you need maybe to look at or to think about, all that, to work on. I will just give you comments or reflection, something that you can reflect on. So that's part of your coursework. It's not, by the way, it is part of your coursework. That's journaling. And it's part of your personal development, other than maybe other things that you'll be asked to do, like your personal therapies, also part of your personal development and professional development. So when we talk of personal therapy, what are we talking about? So you will be a counselor. At the end of all this, though you will start practicing wrong before then, but you will become a counselor. So you cannot go to provide counseling to people when you are wounded, when you have not healed. So you first need to go for counseling yourself, so that in case there are areas of your life that you need to work on, you are able to work on them, you are able to heal, so that when you go to the clients, you are not identifying with the issues of the client. And even if maybe it's something that ever happened to you, you have healed, you are not breeding. An example is maybe somebody was raped. So in case somebody who is raped comes to them for therapy, they will stop helping that person at the capacity of that person, and they will start crying because not of whatever is presented to them, but whatever was done to them. If somebody has been maybe in a toxic relationship, and maybe they were beaten or they were mistreated, they were betrayed, and then they don't go for therapy, they have not yet healed, they have not done their work, they have not dealt with the cockroaches and all that in their spaces. When somebody comes to them with the same issues, they will not be able to help them, because they will be grieving what happened to them. So they are not objective with this client. They are very, very subjective. So it's not like this person cannot cancel somebody with their own case. By the way, many a times, people who have gone through a case, after they heal, they become very good at helping other people go and heal in the same issue. But healing must happen. Healing must happen. So it is necessary for us to go and do our therapy sessions. So at least 15 sessions. At some point, I will set a link. After we have continued kidogo, I will set a link. You can register. We will have the counselors who are available in the school, and then they will you will be able to select the one you want. I believe this could also have been communicated during the orientation. So the counseling, the therapy sessions goes at 1,500 per session for the students only. Only the student are charged 1,500. So Joanne, I can see your hand is up. Kindly go ahead.
Yes, I wanted to ask, in case someone has already gone through therapy, because personally I've gone through therapy since January. I finished, I think, last month, a few weeks ago. Do I still need to go through the same, or the personal therapy?
Well, but I'm imagining this all this time. I have also seen the same question with Irene. Like most of our, like when we are having meetings as trainers and counselors in our institution, even the counselors who do not train join in the training, in the like trainings that we go through as trainers, because they are supposed to know what you are doing in class. Because as I teach and you are doing your therapies, there are things that will come out of you coming to class. One time, somebody will share something and you feel like, kwa nini naona hiyo kitu inafanana na kitu na maisha yangu? And maybe you have already gone for therapy, but you find like maybe you healed in so many areas, but there is one thing that maybe have been triggered by either a session, like a running session, or it's triggered by somebody sharing in the class. So somehow they go hand in hand, that there is so much that you may want to go to attend your therapies from what you will be running all throughout the semesters. It's not bad possibly to go outside there to get your own therapist, but they have to give you the letters because you will need the therapy letter. Not just in our school, you will need the therapy letter like to join KCPA, that is Kenya Counselors and Psychologists Board. Like you need to have whoever does counseling for you, they must be registered, ensure that they are registered under the board and ensure they are registered at least under the association, so that the letter that they give you that you have gone for therapy with them, it is valid when you go to take that letter to the board yourself. One day you will also have to do that. You will register under the board. I believe that when I talk of the board, you are able to understand. Like the nurses have to be registered. The doctors have to be registered. And we are in the Ministry of Education. We'll also be registered. So you need a therapy letter to show that indeed you have also gone for those sessions. Different institutions and different levels in education require different number of sessions. So for us, we are at 15. I hope I have answered. Irene, and I can have Jemima. Jemima, you can ask the question.
Okay, thank you. I was asking, you have talked of 1,500 for the therapy. Is it included in the fee or it's paid separately?
It's paid separately.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, Jemima, and thank you for asking. Any other question? If we don't have any other question, we can continue. So, something else in the personal development, now we have started the sessions, I will be requiring you now to also start getting clients. We talked of, yes, you can get some clients from our school, from your churches or from other churches, you can crisscross each other. Like here we are having Carrie on one side and Judy on one side. So they can say, you come to our church, I take you to my pastor. We say we are classmates and we need to do counseling. So whenever they have people that need counseling, you will counsel in my church, I counsel in your church. So if you're doing that, okay. If you're doing that, what happens? You will have clients. And when you go and assess the client from what we have learned, maybe you feel like, hey, I'm not so sure I got this point correct. I would want maybe somebody to help me just to rethink maybe what I told them, how I asked the questions, like anything that I could have done. And what happens when you do all that? You come to class, you tell us this is what was happening, and this is what I was able to say. This is the theory that I could have used. These are the skills that I used. This is the intervention, this what, and all that. So when you come to us in class, because the supervision that I'm talking about supervision, we will listen to you. Then somehow in the class, I will allow us to share, like, what do you think she would have done? Where did she do it so well? Where does she need improvement? So after that, I will also include my points on how you could have done it, not like telling you did not do it correctly, only some bit of improvement, and of course, affirming you where you went correct. So that's called supervision. So you need to do supervision. So maybe part of what also you need to buy in this regard, or not necessarily buy, because we can share something that you can download. we have the client login. It's like a small book for the ones who can access our schools, the campuses. There is like a small book called a client login work. So or a brew book. Normally people call it a brew book because of the cover, which is brew. So what you do, there is a place where you're writing. I will be able to project that another time, not today. You will be able to show us that this is for this one, I was able to see this client. This is the information, and these are the issues that were coming up with this client. This is what I used to intervene in their case. So on the other side, there is a supervision press that I felt stuck in this press about that client, and I need help with this and this. So we will do that in class, and I can also mark that. So I hope I have not lost you on that, because maybe I'm using like supervision, but it's exactly what you think. You are at your workplace, your supervisor comes. They check against your work, the one that you are intended to do, against what is expected. So whatever they are doing is supervising you. So as a class, we'll supervise each other, and I will be supervising you. So the book, or the book, it's like a small book. If you are able to come to school, you can get it in the library. I'm not so sure how much it costs at this time. So you can just check. We also have manuals, which you can buy again at the library. But I will be doing notes, and I'll be sharing the notes with you on every topic. Only that it's not bad if you have a manual. Again, the manuals are also bought at the library. So you can, maybe if you're allowed here, you can plan to just come in, check how the manuals are, buy the Cabru book and all that. But if you're far away, we'll communicate so that we see how that happens, so that you can get all these materials for your growth and development. Any questions so far? Any questions? Okay, seems either you have not understood or you have understood completely. Okay, that's on personal development. That's on also professional development. Something else that we will be doing, we have assignments. So assignments, like on this timetable again, we have you can still, I think if you had not scrolled away if you are not scrolled away and you are still where we were at, we'll have a case. And in this case, you're supposed to do the questions that follows the case. So we have like a assignment where we have Congo's case study that will be provided. And then you will read that case. After you read the case, like after you read the case, you will be able to answer the questions that are given. Another assignment that we'll have to do is that as we come to the very far end of the lessons, I think that's on 18, the 18th day, we have assessment. That is, you do a written exam. That one, you will do it from this platform. But we will be practicing, as I said earlier on. But other times, you are required, like for the basic counseling services, you are required to practice. Like one of those times when you go to do your practicum, maybe in the church or in the rehab or somewhere, you're supposed to record a case for like 20 minutes. And in these 20 minutes, you are supposed to touch on all the core things that we will have taught. so that you are able to transcribe that case. You are able to reflect what you did very well. You can also do your commentary on that case. It is part of the running, and it's also required by TVET when you are sitting for your TVET SIDAC exams. So that one might not come out very clearly just because we have not yet started to do that. But as we continue, I will be able to highlight that this is what I meant when I said you need to do your video audio recording. And then right after the recording, you do transcription, and you also do the commentaries on the same case. So that might not come out clearly, mostly if you don't have any background on this. But I know at another time I'll comment about it, and you will remember this is what I was saying. So I'm checking anything else that we have left out. So that I don't leave anything out. So about your school fees, I know somebody else will be following you on that. Not necessarily me. The finance department will follow you on that. So at least by the time you're coming to do your exams, ensure that you have paid all the fees so that you are not locked out, like from doing your exams, and maybe you are left by the other your colleagues, and all that. So just ensure that you do your part in paying the school fees so that the trainer too gets unga na mafuta and all that. Asiparare. So thank you for paying school fees already. We are happy. It's a new month. So thank you. Continue paying your school fees, and we'll be happy. We'll continue to be happy. Yeah, so I think unless you have any question, we can do a break. Any questions?
Yes, I have one. So you say the record, you talked about, is it the record or the video?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. What you are talking about, like we need to have a
video audio. It's a video audio recording.
So it needs to show the client and you and the conversation.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Any other question? Yes, Davy.
Thank you. Good evening. So still on that same point on the audio tape recording. I'm just thinking maybe I'm just preempting, or maybe because we haven't gone through the course, I'm just thinking in my layman thinking that recording, it's not going to be an uphill task trying to get a client to agree to be recorded, while we out here we think that these are private conversations. Or how do you anticipate that?
Okay. We always seek consent in all these things. So if you are to record a client, it might not be necessarily like you are telling the client is telling you their personal stuff. We can give them our case that we want them to present to you. So it's not their case they are presenting, they are acting in place of the case. Thank you. Okay. So it's 1936. I'm checking to see if there is anyone else lifting their hands or doing anything. Okay, we can come back at 20 hours.
One last question before we go. So it means you're going to give us the case to present to the client, or what did? Please clarify.
We can plan for that.
Thank you. Understood now.
Okay, thank you. Okay. It's 8. So here we are. Welcome back. You can emoji me back. Let me see which emoji to. Okay, Timothy has already emojied me. So okay, yeah, emoji, so that I can know that you are here. I think a good number of us are already here. So we can continue with what we were doing before we left. So welcome back. So by the time we were leaving, we were still looking at the day 1 of our timetable. And there is somewhere where I want us to share on together. So we shared on number 3, appendix 3. Somebody was able to read for us appendix 3, and we were able to know how do we write a journal. So we had a lot of questions on the recording bit and the transcription. There is a provision also on the timetable that is telling us of a sample audio transcription, that is appendix 2. And we are also having some more stuff there where we are supposed to, we can read together so that we get to understand what is expected of us. So we can have volunteers, any volunteer. Any volunteer, then I can tell them what to read. Yeah, thank you, David, for volunteering. So I want you to help us to read where we have on the assignment we had done. So personal development, I just want you to start off from that, number 2, where we have personal development. Number 2, personal development. You can see it.
Yes, I can see it.
Thank you. So you can read that bit.
Okay, you'll tell me when to stop.
Sure.
Okay. Personal development. Roman numeral 1. Personal development. Learners should participate in personal development, PDs. Undertaking the PDs contributes immensely to personal and professional development. Number 2, journals. Learners will undertake weekly journals and a semester journal summary. In term 2 and 3, the learner will present to their trainers monthly journals which will be marked and return to the learners with comments on what is processed adequately and potential areas for growth. See sample of how to write the journal in appendix. Semester journals to be put in POA. Number 3, personal therapies. Learners will undertake 10 therapy sessions to be completed in 2 semesters. In brackets, 5 sessions per semester. Number 3, professional development. Number 1, counselor supervision. Trainees will undertake 4 sessions, in brackets, half individual and half group, of counselor supervision for level 5 with an approved counselor supervisor by KIPCO. A list of counselor supervisors will be provided by KIPCO. The sessions will be recorded in their supervision login register. See outline on how to present a case for supervision in the appendix. Number 2, the counselor supervisor mentioned in 1 will be the trainee mentor and hence will complete the mentorship tool filled during the industrial attachment for the trainee. Number 3, there will be 3 clinical supervision sessions for each unit of competency during the training, which will be recorded in the login register. Number 4, practicum / industrial attachment. To provide basic counseling services, or for provide basic, I'm not sure. For provide basic counseling services, conduct a minimum of 10 counseling sessions with clients in sites you identify. In brackets, you pair with each other and record in the client login register. Number 5, internal and external assessment will be given on the units of competencies. Provide basic counseling services, apply communication skills, and apply digital literacy. Number 6, after recording the audio and video recording for unit of competence during the continuous practical tests in class, make sure you save them on a flash drive, in folder, and write the audio transcript and video commentary. See the sample below. Number 7, provide basic counseling services, case studies to be done in groups, in brackets to be provided.
Thank you, Davy, for helping us to go through that and clarifying on what you are sharing earlier on. So I'm not so sure if we have any questions in regard to what we had said and what now we have read. I'm not seeing any hands lifted, so I'm assuming that we are good. Okay. So we have that other part where now what they were saying that it will be provided, see below. That's what we are going to do. We are going to see below where we have the sample video commentary. So we are assuming that somebody went, recorded the video, and this is how they were able to comment on the video in regard to what we said, that you need to do a commentary after transcribing. When we talk of transcribing, I'm imagining, I saw some of you are like Timothy, the IT consultant. They know all this stuff better possibly than me, but we are here to learn from each other. So I will also be happy to learn. But when like in the court of law, nowadays, I believe so, when the judge is doing the hearings or the magistrate and all that, when all that is happening, they record word for word of what was said. Later on, it is transcribed again, word for word. So if the judge was like, they will write that so that they are able to, like, this is what was following each other on whatever was said. So it is like exactly what was said is recorded. So for you, you will do your recording on, like you type it, and then after typing, you now share with me, either mostly as words, so that I'm able to work on it. And then after I work on that, I will do my commentaries too. But first, after immediately you're done with the transcription bit, so I can see this is the client, this is you, Marianne, and you are having that dialogue over and over until the 20th minute. You have done whatever I have taught you by the time you are getting to that point. Then you will be looking at that and you will do what now we are about to read here. So we can have another volunteer. The good thing is, if you don't volunteer, I'll volunteer you. Betty, what do you think about me volunteering you and Soire? Anyway, you are the ones near my name. So Betty and Soire and Mary, I hope you had not talked. So it will be okay for me to volunteer you. Okay, Soire has already, his mic is already on. So Soire, kindly take us through the analysis of a video typed interview with a client.
Thank you. Hello, class. So I
think it's here,
I
appendix.
hope you're able to see that.
Appendix 1, sample video commentary. Analysis of a videotaped interview with a client.
Okay. Soire?
Yes.
Okay. John, go ahead. I cannot trace Soire. Seems like he left or something. John, you can unmute.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. You have said the analysis of a videotaped interview with a client,
Yes.
difficulties in adjusting.
Yes.
Fine. The following is a practice 30-minute counseling session with a client. The session is audio taped and 8 minutes of the interview is transcribed. This paper includes a description of the client, including the history and presentation problem. History and presenting problem. Additionally, the session will be described and analyzed in terms of the techniques and interventions utilized and how the client responded. Description of client. Jackie is a 30-year-old Latina female who is currently in a graduate school. She currently lives alone. She came dressed casually and is appropriately groomed into apparent distress. She appears to be her stated age and is of average height and weight. During the interview, this client appeared slightly anxious but composed. Jackie sought out counseling because she experienced the loss of her live-in boyfriend whom she resided with for 4 years. She has no past physiocratic or medical conditions, but stated that she has family members who are diagnosed with schizophrenia and depression. According to the client, she believes her father is suffering from depression and has been for many years, but he is not receptive to treatment. Additionally, he abuses alcohol, but she doesn't feel he is currently dependent on it. Jackie's mother divorced her father approximately 4 years ago. This is when she and her now ex-boyfriend decided to move in together. Jackie experienced this loss approximately 5 months ago, and she decided to seek out counseling because she was feeling increasingly sad and was unable to remain focused at her work and in school. Description of the session. The session took place in Jackie's home in her kitchen. Her home appeared to be cluttered, and when I arrived, and I wasn't sure where we would meet for session, Jackie eventually moved her piles from her kitchen table and made room for us to meet. At first, it seemed a bit uncomfortable because I felt the messy engage me in small talk. And
you might have you mixed the messy surroundings. Messy
surroundings were distracting and making me scattered. Jackie was friendly to me, but initially was unable to focus on our meeting. She consistently tried to engage me in small talk, which I attributed to her anxiety. I politely asked her if we would please begin, and she agreed. As I had suspected, something was on Jackie's mind. She informed me she saw her ex-boyfriend at the ski slopes this past weekend. She had not seen him since he walked out on her. This is a praise they frequently together, and I had a hunch that perhaps she purposely went there to see him. To her surprise, she saw her ex-boyfriend speaking to another girl, and this made her emotionally perhaps shooting down the idea that they might attempt to rekindle their romance. I believe the approach I used was more of a personal-centered approach by attempting to guide her to always be the driver. I think she responded well. For example, one of her strengths is that she was insightful enough to realize she does not cope well with stress and that she allows her frustrations to dictate her behaviors. She independently decided to make a change, realizing that she needed to find herself again. This is referring to the idea that she had given up her control to this person in her life so deeply that she was not able to recognize herself anymore. I utilized a lot of empathy during our session, and I believe this worked for her because part of her problem is her feeling of inferiority and not being respected or wanted. I think I allowed for an atmosphere of understanding, and she appreciated it to the point where she began to realize certain things about herself on her own. She was able to experience a sense of control because she referred to her father and ex-boyfriend ignored her. I thought the utilization of empathetic echoing was allowing her to experience acceptance because she was listened to and remained an important person in this process. This is something she lacked in her previous relationships. I also utilized a lot of affect by asking her consistently about her previous feelings and current ones, including how she felt about our relationship. The parallel she was making between her ex-boyfriend and her father is something that she concluded. She knew that the old issues with her father's neglect surfaced. However, when I approached her about her father, she resisted. I thought I might lose her, and I did not want to explore the issue with her father a little more. However, I respected that she was not ready to go there and allowed her to continue in the driver's seat. I don't know that silence worked well for her. A lot of times, it took a while to figure out what I was going to say or ask. Therefore, there were many periods of silence. I noticed this made her uneasy, and at times I would find myself asking the same question in different ways because I needed to buy more time. I did not want her to feel like I was inadequate or that she had to feel in the moments of silence. She had already started the session with some anxiety about seeing her ex-boyfriend with another girl. So I believe that based on my observations, this made her uncomfortable. I implemented many techniques of exploration and elaboration. For example, I utilized a lot of questions in my session. Most of our dialogue consisted of questions, open-ended questions. She responded well to the questions and didn't seem to want me to give her all the answers. I attended both physically and physiologically, which I thought was well appreciated since her issues was feeling ignored and rejected. I think the bulk of my approach consisted of reflection, prompts, and empathy. These empowered her to maintain the position of recognize these things in herself. Recognize things in herself. Additionally, the use of validation was implemented to motivate her to accept change. I believe it was easy for me to casually sensitive because the client and I shared similar demographics in terms of ethnic background, age, and education level. At times, I feel working with a client who is extremely different than me will put me at less ease because part of my session will require a conscious effort to be cultural sensitivity. Overall evaluation and comments.
I can help you. Thank you, John. So I believe that as you were listening to John and possibly following on where he was reading, you were able to maybe even at some point identify with one or two things from our friend Jackie here. And this is being given or narrated by the counselor. So it is part of like she is, or the counselor is retelling what happened in this is not a counseling room because it is happening in Jackie's kitchen, which mostly we don't allow here because many things can go wrong. So it's part of your own protection, though it is not like set on stone that you can do that. So we have overall evaluation and comments. And this is again the counselor who continues to share about what was happening. So she says, or he says, that I enjoyed meeting with Jackie. I feel comfortable with people who allow me to guide them as opposed to clients who want me to give them the answers. She was extremely accepting of taking the read. So possibly she's just saying that I am a client who uses a lot of person-centered approach, one of the approaches that we'll be running. So she was really enjoying because Jackie, as we read, was taking the read. So this is nicely her style of counseling, the counselor now. I think in the future, I would explore her relationship with her father and perhaps recognize how it may all tie into her current use of coping mechanisms. So this is a name that you'll be seeing a lot, coping mechanisms, resistance, somewhere John read for us, and you are seeing that she resisted, talking about the father. The most difficult thing for me right now is implementing an unrepetitive flow of questions. I was not sure if my client was aware, but when I listened to the tape, I noticed I asked a lot of the same questions. So when you do your video and audio recording, this is one of the things that you will realize where you use maybe ad-libs, the same ones, or something like the repetitive questions. You will be able to note so much if you do a video audio recording. So it is also a guide for you to see where you need to improve, where you need to work on. She noted now that she did a lot of similar questions, which she had already given, Jackie had already answered to those questions. This could be misconstrued as me being a poor listener or non-accepting and or needing to test. So she is speaking something about herself, that there is a possibility that Jackie had said this thing, but she was not actively listening. So here she's querying one of the skills that we'll be learning, that is active listening. Then I think to meet these challenges, I would need to be more genuine. Genuineness is also another skill we'll be looking at with my client, and just let the client know when I am stuck. We say that we go for supervision because at times we get stuck. I think that my fear of inadequacy places me in a situation where I need to carry on the front of just flowing according to plan. I need a lot more practice. When I decided to major in this field, I had no idea how difficult it really is to get paid just to talk to people. Of course, that's what we say, that you get paid to talk to people. but you need to develop skills to listen to these people so that you are not just talking your stuff. It is a lot more complicated than I had anticipated, but I am finding that I am also learning about myself in the process. I assume this is the awareness as a starting point that I keep hearing in my counseling classes. So that's why I said that the classes and your therapy sessions and you going out to practice, somehow they are converging somewhere and they will help you in your own personal development and the professional development. So here we are having our counselor being able to evaluate themselves after they have done the transcription, because we have seen like some of the things that she picked include like the repetition bit that comes as a result of not maybe being very active in listening. So there is also another part where we have the sample audio transcription. And again, they are able to give us something that can help us, and later on we have some skills. So I still want a volunteer, anyone who would want to volunteer to do us the Appendix 2 sample audio transcription. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm still checking. Only John's hand is up, and I think it's an old hand. Okay, so Ira, go ahead.
You can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Appendix 2, sample audio transcription. That's the one I read.
Yeah, you're supposed to read for us Appendix 2. John, maybe for now you can put your hand down and you can also maybe mute so that we are able to hear Soire very well.
You are required to do a 20 minutes audio tape session and do a transcription of the first 10 minutes. See a sample below. Counselor, opening. Hi Beth, before we get started today, I'd just like to inform you about a few things. First, this session is for a school assignment and it involves me critiquing my responses to you. And just to let you know, my trainer is going to listen to this, but no one other than myself or she will read or hear anything. Unless you say anything that will lead me to believe that you might harm yourself or someone else, this is strictly confidential. Now, in the past, we've talked about your relationship with Mike. So, would you like to continue to talk about that, or would you like to talk about something else? It's totally up to you whenever you're ready. Client laughs. Yeah, I could continue that, I guess. Lately, he's been annoying the heck out of me by getting into a MySpace account and finding older women to talk to. I mean, being 20, it's just like, why are you doing this to me? And I've said that to him many times, and I'm sick of him just not listening and not taking care of things. He and I have been seeing each other for so long now that he should just look into what I need from him at this point, because I've given so much to him in the past. Counselor, you are confused because you've had this relationship for a long time now and he's starting to look at older women. Reflection.
Go ahead on the reflection.
My response worked effectively because it showed her that I was concerned and actively listening by accurately reflecting her feelings of being confused as to why he's looking at older women. The proof of this is that she agreed with what I had said in her next statement. Yep, that's what it is, and clearly felt comfortable enough to elaborate. Client, yep, that's what it is. He's not, he's not, he just is attracted to older women. He likes me. He liked me in the beginning. And now it's just like I don't know what I've done to make him back up and go in this other direction again or whatever. Counselor, you are upset because he doesn't seem to be committed to you anymore. Reflection. This response was effective because it shows that I understood her concerns. Client, right, that's what it is. He is recently talking to this woman on the internet, and I've asked him several times if he's going to meet her, and he's like, well, I don't know, it's a long drive. But the thing is, I have a feeling he's going to meet her. I really get this sense that he's interested and is looking for something else. He may be at the point where he's nervous about us, and that he feels so comfortable with us that he's gotta find out if it's worth staying for. But I think repeatedly, I've tried to prove to him that it is, and that we could make things work together. In brackets, I interrupted her because I thought she was done and apologized for it. Close bracket. He's always saying I'm the voice of reason for him. Counselor, so you're wondering if maybe he's just scared that your relationship is becoming serious and is not ready to settle down. So maybe that's why he's starting to look again.
Thank you, Soire, for helping us get through that point. So here again, we are seeing a case of a client and a client. I hope you're not talking because I can see your mic is still on. Thank you. Okay. So we are having, it's an audio, and we have asked for consent that yes, from this conversation, I will go ahead and share it with my trainer as part of my schoolwork. So the client understands that you're a student and you need to do supervision and somebody is helping you in your work. So we are seeing the reflections. These are the comments that the counselor makes on how they respond to the client. So is it the apology, or like maybe if the whatever they said was effective, or if they used a good technique, all that can apply. So that we can continue with that bit because it's still a continuation. You're not yet done, but maybe we can have somebody help Soire so you can lift up your head. Note that the reflection is one of the major techniques, or not really techniques, but skills that we will use when you are able to reflect your own personal feelings and also help the client to reflect on their own feelings. So we can have Marianne do for us the paraphrase, and we can have the last person do us the summary bit. So Marianne, for now you can go as we wait for the last person to volunteer. Marianne.
Paraphrase. Can you hear me?
Clearly.
I paraphrased here to see if I understood her main point correctly and to try to get her to elaborate on that point. My response illustrates that what I thought that main point was, into bracket, that Mike is acting the way he is because he's nervous about the relationship getting serious. Continuation, and although she's agreed with what I had said in her next statement, into brackets, I think that what it is, I think it was only partially right because she did not elaborate on that exact point. Instead, she went into another direction, into bracket, about girls, including herself, cheating on him, which may be what she really meant by he's nervous about us. But I'm not positive. Nevertheless, it was a reflective response because it allowed her to give more information about aspects of this issue, some of which was probably harder than usual for her to tell me. Alternative response. You're thinking there is something that is making Mike nervous, and that might be what is motivating his behavior. Client. I think that's what it is. I also think that it is because he's been in past relationships and he's been engaged twice. He's been cheated on by those girls. He's been hurt so badly by those girls that I think he's just afraid of me doing that to him also. And I did once, and I didn't mean to. I apologize and have tried to show him that I'm not going to do it again. But at the same time, I think he's always looking for revenge on that one situation. Counselor, you're frustrated because even though you did the exact thing that he was afraid of because it's happened to him before, you've shown that you're sorry and that you're not going to do it again, but it seems that he's not accepting this. Reflection. This response proved to be effective because she agreed with it and continued to give more information into bracket. I think that and it showed her that I have empathy for her, even though she did something that she's not proud of, which was cheating on Mike when she knew that was exactly what he was on guard for. It allowed us to get what I believe is the crux of the issue, which is the lack of trust. I think I did the best job I could for shutting up the judgmental voice in my head that I was shrieking at this point. You cheated on him and you're surprised at how he's acting. I really didn't feel empathy for her though, because she did seem very remorseful about it, and I feel bad that my response might have sounded slightly judgmental towards the beginning. I did the best I could to cover up the convey my empathy. By the end of it, I was very careful not to let facial expression or body language show the negativity towards her. Though I hear it is in my tone a little bit. Alternative response. It's frustrating you that even though you've apologized for cheating on him and have made it clear that you won't ever do it again, he hasn't accepted it and seems to be seeking revenge. Client. I think that he and I don't trust each other as much as he says he has trust for me. He just does it repeatedly. He never takes what I say for real. I think he's just telling me, I don't care what you do. But at the same time, he's watching me to see if I'm gonna do it or anything like that. And then if I do, or even if I don't, he still looks for some sort of revenge on me. It feels a lot like he just doesn't care. Counselor, you're upset because you're sincere and serious about the relationship, but he doesn't seem to believe you, so he's acting very suspicious of you. Reflection. This response proved to be effective because she agreed with what I said so empathetically that she used my word suspicious twice. Once again, this reassured her that I was really listening to the feeling that she was saying. It also helped confirm my belief that lack of trust was the real problem in the relationship with Mike, and I wanted to know more about how she felt about this. My response allowed her to provide this information. Alternative response. You're disappointed that Mike seems to be suspicious of you and wants to get back at you when you'd really like to work to make your relationship more mature, serious, and trusting. Summary. My greatest improvement is that I felt and sounded much more relaxed and confident in this session than in the first one. Looking back on this session, I realized that I was thinking too much about our own responses. I didn't worry at all about statements sounding like questions, and I was very happy that nothing sounded like one. I really engaged in listening to her and trying to feel what she was feeling. I also noticed throughout the session that I frequently matched her body position, and we had excellent eye contact the entire time. I think my facial expression, tone, and pace of speaking were relaxing, comfortable for her. All of this felt natural to me this time, so that is a major improvement. One thing I need to work on is in my informed consent / opening statement. It sounded like I was nervous or didn't know what I was doing with all the arms. I'm not sure why I did that because I felt quite comfortable. I also didn't mean to make it sound like I was forcing her to talk about Mike. Her statement after my opening statement kind of makes it sound like she didn't want to talk about it. But that's not the case at all, because just before we started the session, she firmly stated that she had a lot to talk about regarding him, and that's what she wanted to discuss. I also gave her the option to talk about anything else if she would wanted to. Basically, I need to work on giving my opening statement, though more clearly, smoothly, and eloquently. The same goes for my ending statements, which I felt was sort of abrupt and cold this time, even though it couldn't be helped because she had to be somewhere. Another improvement is that my feeling vocabulary was more varied this time. I feel as though I'm getting better at identifying specific emotions that clients are feeling, rather than always using vague words like frustrated. Nevertheless, I still need to work on this because I did use some vague words more than once, such as upset, bothered, and confused. I was also excited at how many times she repeated words that I had just used, because that shows that we had established a good connection. In addition, I think it is an improvement that I was able to synthesize information for several of her statements into one response, because this shows the client that I have been actively listening all along, and I understand how the information is connected. A major thing I still work on is not letting my own experiences, judgments, and assumptions infiltrate the counseling session. For example, during her statement in block #3, I was thinking, yes, many guys do get nervous when relationship gets serious and can make them act like jacks. I also badly wanted to say this to her to try to make her feel better, but obviously I knew better and held off. This may not have been what she was thinking at all, but because I have had personal experiences with it, that's where my mind went, and this influenced my response. I also need to work on my blocking skills. As evident, by my interrupting her at this point, I really wanted to jump in there and say what I had to say, and that I thought she was finished. But it was just a slight pause. I felt bad because my interruption might have prevented her from saying something important. As previously stated, another thing I need to work on is on making assumptions. For example, in block #6, I assumed that Mike mistreats Beth on most days, which could have offended her, but she simply clarified as going back and forth. Fortunately, this continued to feel comfortable enough to go deeper into her story. Finally, withholding judgment is something that I have both improved and improved on and need to work on. For example, when she admitted that she had cheated on Mike while knowing that his behavior was influenced by fear of that very thing happening it was very hard for me not to be judgmental. But I did the best I could. I'm worried that I let it slip into my tone of voice a little bit. But I try to turn into an empathetic tone by ending with my response in block #4, and I made sure to keep my facial expression and body language open and relaxed so that she wouldn't feel judged.
Wow, thank you for helping us again go through that part. So other than reflection, we're also seeing summary that like at the end of a conversation, it is good to just have a summary of this is what we have been doing. And here we are seeing the counselor giving just a summary after all the back and forth in her 10 minutes of audio transcription. So we are not seeing everything, but she's able to summarize what she did in those first 10 minutes. So this is required of us. That is the video and then the audio. So where in the video, we were able to see Jackie and her counselor. And you can note that in maybe if you are to look into it, you can say so much on what is happening. Because, of course, if you came to my home and you found it messy, and then you listen to my story, somehow you can be able to put 1+1 and see the messy kitchen and the messy head or the messy situationship that Jackie is in. So it speaks a lot, like what we see, what we hear, and what now is said, like said, because sometimes what is said gives us room for again 1+1. Remember, it does not give us room to be judgment, but I can say one thing, but the way you're hearing it, it is also informing you of something else. The way I can laugh at something, the way I can like have a silence moment, like a silent moment in between whatever I'm saying, or a moment of, you know, the minimal prompts can be telling you something more than what I'm saying. So for counselors, if you're having your writing material, I want you to draw a face. The way we just draw a face, you can draw a face on your book. I want you to put the eyes, just normal eyes, the way you would just put the eyes normally. The mouth, it can be just a small line, at least a curved one, like you're smiling. And then a nose, of course. Then I want you to draw very big ears, like an elephant ears. Like very big. That's how we are supposed to be. Maybe even the eyes should be a little bigger. Because we observe a lot. We listen more. Many people, even in our class, we might find that they have not been listened to. Maybe when they were younger, they would say, "Mommy, mommy." And mommy says, "Eda na uko, uoni nafanya nini?" Then anaenda kwa daddy, "Daddy, daddy, daddy." And then the same thing. "Eda ukaambie mama yako, mimi niko busy. Mimi naenda kutafuta pesa." Then they just go to talk to the cow or to the maize or to many other things, if they had a pet, maybe. So we are not listened to. So when people come to the counseling room, it is not advice giving. Of course, we'll be seeing that from next week. It is not advice giving. They have not come in to be given advice. You have been given a lot of advice. We are tired. So we cannot again come for us to hear you tell us what to do and what not to do. But when you are reflecting our feelings, like you have seen in this case, the one that Marianne was helping us to read, the counselor is not the one who is saying, "Hey, then you need to leave Mike. He is cheating with an old woman. Then leave. What are you doing there?" Like, that's for our friends. They can do that bit. during chai time. But for us as counselors, we don't do that. We listen to them, we reflect, we help them to reflect on how they are feeling, their thoughts, the things that are happening, so that they can see them clearly and make the choice themselves. So we have to get these skills. Maybe by the time you are here today, you don't have all these skills. You don't know how to actively listen. I think I'm a sanguine. I'm a choleric sanguine. We talk a lot. Sanguines talk a lot. And that's a kind of demerit when it comes to listening, because you really have to learn to listen to other people. Otherwise, you will be the one who is talking more in a session. But it's the client who should talk more in a session. So we are seeing our client now here being able to ask themselves, am I able to listen? Am I able to help them to reflect? Am I judgmental? Because clients should not be judgmental. So she's asking herself, am I judgmental? I think I have improved. Possibly this is not the first session. I think I have improved in this, in this, in this. So I will not beat myself about these things that I'm still lacking in. What I will do next time, I'll do better. So that's the spirit, that next time you will do better. You are not beating yourself on what you were not able to do or what you did wrong. So any questions before we graduate from that? Any questions? Okay, if there is no question, I want us to share on what we are taking home. We are almost at the end of the session. What are we taking home today? Today starts from yesterday all the way to today.
I go first.
Please, please.
I think today has really triggered my emotions.
I can hear your voice. Tell us more.
Yeah, it has. When you talked about, like, when you start working with clients, you need to go through therapy sessions. I was like, okay, traumas come back, and I'm like, okay, so I cannot help people heal if I'm not healed. So today I realized that I have a lot of baggage in me that needs to come out. So another thing I've learned, my takeaway today is active listening. And then there is something I have realized when I was reading, I was very calm and focused. That's something I realized. It normally doesn't happen. Sometimes, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm eager to learn. And then these stories, the counselor and the client, reading some of these things, they are making me like now starting reflecting on myself as a person. Am I ready for this? Am I healed to start this journey? So like what I'm going to take away today is active listening is very important. Being, as people who are entering into this industry, we should not put our feelings in front. And also we should not be judgmental. And we should strictly be professional when it comes to this industry. You know, sometimes you might say something and then it reminds you, and that goes back to the first thing you said. You need the therapy sessions because somebody might say something and it triggers and you remember, I'm not healed. And then you start becoming subjective instead of helping them, because our work is to listen to them and not drawing conclusion or many other things. But let me say, like, my journey has just begun today and I am ready to heal and get into the industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne. Lots of love. Let's give her a lot of love. Yeah, she's already thinking, am I ready for this? Definitely you are ready for this, because we will trigger you. We will it's as if the person who is cooking or preparing uji is porridge. They have to stir and stir until the very last moment, so that the uji does not have boils. That's what we call it in my vernacular, like those lumps. So we will stir you until you will not have lumps. You will be cooked without lumps. So be ready for that. This is the bad wagon that you belong to. Yes, somebody else to go. Irene, you know you are holding a mic. So I'm like, I just want to tell you, you're already holding a mic. Talk. You're already holding a mic.
Wow. All right. So for me, I think my takeaway at some point it was feeling like it's too much, then too much to do. Then I just realized what you've said, like the porridge aspect. It's a journey that will not perfect in one day. So everything matters while in the process of it. And now just the keenness to learn, because even my own body language may communicate something negative or different to the client. So really it's a learning process that needs the whole body, mind, and soul in it. And I think grace will be sufficient, because I was also just thinking about this scenario of Mike. I'm like, duh, you cheated on him. What the heck did you expect? Then I was like, okay, I didn't hold it up. You don't need to talk. So yeah, it's quite something. A lot of grace is necessary, but I think through the process, we will learn how to deal with all these things without being judgmental and whatnot. So yeah, for me, that it is my take. It is a process, and we shall be better cooked by the end of it. Thank you.
Thank you. You're already preempting. What is counseling? It's a process. Mary, you can go. Oh, we did not
That
give
was
her her
wonderful.
claps, please. If you have not given her her love, please give her some love. Thank you. So Mary, continue.
So I think we've started on a good foot and on our best. I've learned so much about it. Counseling is about listening to the client and observing a lot how they are expressing themselves. Even the way you express yourself, it is important. And another thing I've learned is that we should know how to relate to the client. And you should be focused when the client is talking, when they're expressing their feelings. You should be in a position to listen to them. To be focused, to listen, to be careful on how you present yourself to them. Because even them, the client, are watching on what you're doing, how you're presenting yourself. And I've learned that in case there's a poor listening, you might even end up giving the client a long expression about counselors and all that. So I've learned quite a lot. And thank you for the session. I'm done.
Thank you. Yes, let's give her her love, Mary. Then Joanne can pick it up, and then we can have other people raising their hands so that we get to move on. So Joanne, you will call me recent when you're done and make sure she's given her love.
Okay. Like everyone else has said, I've also learned a lot. What is coming up for me is, as a counselor, you can't just show up when you're also not okay, because listening takes a lot and you can become fatigued. I think it's good to, like, from the reflections, what I was seeing is that some things seem very minute, but I liked the way the reflections were coming out. Like the way she was saying at the beginning, I felt like maybe she was not listening, or she was anxious. It was a good way to look at it, because I felt it's not just about the client, it's also about you as the counselor. How is your emotional state? How are you showing up, not just for the client, even for yourself? And then it's also a learning progress, because the first session she seemed a bit anxious, not ready, not sure. But then over time, as you get to learn your client, I think things become easier. The way she was saying, the client was repeating the words I was saying, I was able to maintain the same posture as her, to maintain eye contact. I think it builds over time. So we need to also extend ourselves grace, because if we give up on the first session, we might give up entirely. If you feel like maybe you're not showing up well for your client, it's good to know maybe the next session you'll be better prepared. Personally, I think, like many have expressed, is that feeling of anxiety, like, am I really going to be ready to, that practice part? Right now, I think because it's our second class, it feels a lot, it feels heavy. It feels like when I meet that client for the first time, where am I even going to get them? Will they be ready to open up? There are so many questions. I think I'm also an overthinker like Marianne, but I'm thinking more of, I don't know, but I'm sure the more we learn, it will be easier, and we are here to support one another. So yes, that's my take home. So I think I'll call Millicent.
Thank you, John.
Tumpatie zake, roho mingi, makofi. Millicent, go on.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening to you.
Sorry for earlier. I wasn't in a position to answer back. So today my takeaway is I was traveling today and I was with a friend, and she has a friend who has a problem of like what we are reading today about cheating, and she wanted my opinion. Now that I was listening, I was kind of reflecting on the answers that I was giving, and I was kind of judgmental at some point, not on the people who are involved, but on the issue and how it was being handled. And to me, I was like, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. This is what they should do. And I'm thinking now, right now, listening and reflecting, I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed first to listen and also give grace, extend grace to the person. Because I was speaking from a place of, I've ever been there, I healed, and maybe this is what I did, this is what I did. Now reflecting, I'm thinking, my solution maybe wasn't their solution. I should have been able to give a room to understand this person better, and also have them express themselves without me giving my own opinion of where I stand. So that's a good place to think about. I had never thought about reflecting of what I've said before, like sitting down and reflecting. But that's a good takeaway for me today. To be a bit, to extend grace, not to be judgmental, and also to be able to give somebody a room to express how they feel without being interrupted. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Many, many loves. Many, many loves to you, Millicent. And I think you're already on the job. That by the time you have already started to reflect on how you have been maybe giving advice, giving your own opinions, giving your own experiences to people that may be so much different from you. So the next person who had lifted their hand is Ernest. Ernest, kindly take us through.
Okay, thank you, madam, for the offer. This is, I can call it the sour shop, whereby we have carried our trolley to pick some merchandise home. So as for me, I've learned also much. However, I've never passed through such difficult journeys, but since now I'm an aspiring counselor, there's 1, 2, 3 items I want to pick. One is that I've learned that a client, should have a bigger share of time so that she or he may air her heart out while you are relaxed without even putting a word to their mouths, just rendering your time and be composed, having heavy shocks, so that you may absorb the pressure, which may be precipitated from the experience of the client who is affected. And again, I've learned to persevere, to practice patience, so that you may not end up even offending more or injuring the heart of the client. So that at the end of the statement, you kind of carry empathy with him or with her, so that he may get ease and so much open without kind of an element or iota of a kind of pressing her or him to formit maybe what she was not about to do, or he was about to do. So for me, now I've learned that the one to be to participate is the client, not me. I thank you, madam, because you have told me to, you have told us to draw, to make some facial expression, and then we draw big ears, which means from today I need to put on bold ears against and other organs in my facial expression, so that I may be able to listen more, and then I answer less. Thank you. That's what I got.
Lots of love to him. I can see nobody else have lifted their. Okay, somebody just did. And this is Jemima. Jemima, carry on.
Okay, thank you. For me, I've learned something. I was wondering when you were telling us that we need to be done in therapy. And now I've come to understand why. That is, many people will present to us many problems. Some will be touching, very much touching to us. And that's, we may fail if we are not done therapy. So I understand the reason as to why therapy is needed for us before we start. Again, I've also learned that you should be so much caring and patient, then an active listener to our clients, that they need to talk more than us, and then we respond to them later after talking to us, or after pouring all what they have to us. Otherwise, when you see somebody coming to you, it means giving you all what the problem he or she has. It means that she or he is trusting you. So in this case, you will have to be a good listener to the patient and put yourself into her shoes, so that he may feel comfortable when he is giving you the problem he has. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm
Let's
done.
give her. Yes, Jemima, what did you say?
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, so much love. And you have added another skill that somewhere we talked about, empathy. When we are able to look from the client's frame of reference, other than how we see the world. Because possibly the way I see the world is different from the way Marianne or Soire or Ernest sees the world. So if we are able to look at the world with the client's specs, then we are able to help them better. Thank you, Jemima, for bringing that out. I can see that, okay, Judy, welcome. I'm almost closing the chances. So if you still need to say something, kindly lift your hand. Judy, carry on.
Hi, hello.
Hello, too.
I'll be brief since I'm not more of a talker. Actually, I had to practice for me to lift that hand up. But my take home today would be journaling. I think, since it will help me like recognize on the pattern, more so like, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, like that would be my take home. journaling, and also I should be healed for me to be able to give 100 to my clients. And in those two cases, judges and bad case, I think I'd have to work on my facial expression because what? Yeah. And what else? Mm. Yeah, I think I think those are my main take homes today. And what? That's a plus for me talking because I'm not more of a talker. Thank you. Have a lovely evening.
And you too, Judy. You are not more of a talker, so there is a likelihood you are more of a listener. But iko kazi. So we are giving you your flowers, and we know that you will do a lot of journaling. They are good for you, and also they are good for everybody else that will come across it. Let's have Davy.
Thank you. Just to ride on the back of that point on journaling, journaling for me is also going to be an interesting journey because I am one person who introspects a lot, but I never take it to the next level of journaling and penning anything down. So that is going to be interesting for me. The other thing, I like the way you just broke down this introduction on the journey that we're about to take, and just realizing that counseling is like helping someone else cut onions while your eyes are wide open and they're naked, and don't expect that you'll not be affected. So I like that you say that we first need to heal before we can try to hold someone else's hand. And also the other thing that caught my caught me was being objective and staying neutral, while clearly my mind, I'm sure, I'm sure you everyone else is like me. I mean, we are all so judgmental, and even as someone is just there talking and dissecting their issues, I'm sure our computer inside the head is just making judgments inside the head. And that's a skill I think we're going to have to hone, by just remaining objective and not wanting to pass your own critiquing and trying to advise them. So I like the way you say that it's not about advising, and it is more about just reflecting. And we reflect, we try and get the client to reflect, and by staying active listeners. So those are just some of the things that I learned today. And it closes off by actually also looking forward to some of the skills that were touched on today's class that we need to develop while doing counseling. Some of them which are like just staying genuine, being an active listener, being empathetic, having a controlled tone. So it's just very interesting, and I can't wait to jump into more of that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let's give him his love. He deserves it. And he's also saying that he will enjoy, or he's looking forward to journaling and so much many things. That active listening is a skill, upeleki mtu juu kari, then jioni unamwambia saa tengeneza sufuria hapa tupikie. Like, you give them time. So even here, we'll give each and every one of us time and grace. You will give yourself the same so that we are able to be honed. And of course, if you want to learn to listen, you don't have to start listening in class only, or when you start seeing clients. Start listening to your baby. Start listening to your wife. Start listening to your mom. Start listening to that friend. You practice the right thing until it becomes perfect. So start listening. Start listening in class instead of scrolling WhatsApp, IG. When the class is ongoing, listen. That's how you learn to actively listen. Yeah, so we'll call okay, nobody else has said they would want to talk. So I will Let me see. Soire has talked, Ernest has talked, so I think they are representing our brothers. So I'm trying to think who I will call to. Okay, Maureen already shared her message. Oh my, Jemima. That the one who will be praying for us has to pray for Jemima, who was bitten by wasp today when trying to water her plants. And she's really in pain and itching. And even her voice has changed. Hey, may the Lord heal you. And I hope wasps are not poisonous. I don't think they are poisonous, but I hope you can get some medication that can help you with that. So for Maureen, I should learn how to write a journal. Yeah, it's a good skill. And we have some pointers there. A little anxious about making the video, audio commentary, and transcription. She's working on communication skills and not just sugarcoating. So this is good, Maureen, that you are already working on stuff. And also something good about all this is that you are not starting with audio video. You will start with us practicing in class. Like we allow us to be each other's client. So we practice and then I'm here, I'm listening. Everybody else in class is listening. We are able to tell you those reflections. We are able to give you a chance to reflect and to hear as we are in class practicing. So by the time you are doing your video audio, the anxiety, as long as you volunteer many times, will have vanished. So that's good. So Rosette, since you're oh yeah, we can give them their loves because they were able to talk to us in the inbox. So Rosette, since you're the class president again, I'll be calling you often. So I will allow you again to give us some closing remarks. The summary today is what you have taken home, and I'm taking your loves home. So other times, maybe I'm required to do something else, so I might not be the only trainer, but we'll keep on catching up. So Rosette, after your remarks, we can ask Catherine to pray for us, and we are good to go. Rosette?
That's a hard one. Where do I start from? Okay, I think I'm happy with the flow of how the lesson goes. I've been one person who has been doing counseling here and there, but no matter how, I'm sure even you teacher, as you are here, you realize when you hear someone else speak or when you hear someone else's story, there is always something new to learn. So you'll always hear something new. So I was listening to everyone speaking, all of you speaking, everyone speaking, and I'm like, okay, this is really the right place to be, you know? So I'm really happy for all of us, and I love the attitude you've started the lessons with. I'm sure will be far much better for ourselves first. That's the part that I love the most, that it is us growing first before we can go out there and start helping other people. And the fact that we are doing our counseling first, that I think for me, that is what hits home for me, because I feel it is more important. It is one thing that I've seen. I think it's the most dangerous thing that I see around, because you see the people that are supposed to be helping, they are all wounded and they are the ones who are supposed to help. So it's as if a sick person is trying to help another sick person, which is something that I've seen so much. I work in a healthcare industry. I see it so much. You see, even the doctors are more broken than, so when a patient, and you ask yourself, what, or you find the teachers come to the hospital and they're like, and you wonder how is she handling the students in the class, So the fact that the school has prioritized the students to start do their own counseling first, I think that makes so much sense for me, and I feel that's one of the best parts. And I'm really happy to be in this class. I thank God for our lives. I thank God for you, teacher, and I pray that we continue with this flow. And I can't imagine where we'll be in the next 2 years. Okay, and I love you guys. I think that's the much I can say. Over to you. Who was leading us for prayers?
Catherine.
Catherine, yes. Sis Catherine, you can proceed.
Thank you.
First tell us what she's speaking, and then
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Catherine.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, Roosevelt. Thank you, everyone. My take home, I think it's a learning journey. We are just unpacking it, and it looks an interesting journey ahead. We may be all looking at all these things that have been shared today. It seems a lot, it seems scary, but let's just, like an onion, let's just unpack it or peel it slowly by slowly. I am sure that as we progress, we will keep wanting to have that desire to even dig deeper, because it's opening so much in us, learning ourselves, learning to look at other people's perspective without judging them, controlling our emotions when we feel we want to speak. So it's a learning journey. Mine is just to encourage each and every one of us that let's keep unpacking it, let's keep showing up as we continue with our lessons. And now we can believe and pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening with thanksgiving in our hearts. We thank you, Lord, for each and every one of us who is here. We thank you for everyone who may have even joined and dropped off along the way because of one reason or another. We commit them all before you. We also want to pray for those who are not able maybe to join us because of any constraint that they may have. We pray for them, our dear God, and we want to thank you for the session that we have had today, the session that we even had yesterday. We want to continue committing this desire that each and every one of us has in their hearts to learn about counseling so that they can either heal on their own, heal other people or the community and the societies that we are in. There's a reason and there's a purpose. That is why we are here. We want to commit ourselves as we journey, that you will walk with us and your presence will go with each and every one of us. Let us not feel overwhelmed. Let us maintain to have a good attitude and a positive attitude and have open minds and hearts for us to learn. We want to pray for our teacher, that you'll also bless her and bless the work of her hands as she takes us through this session, and all those who will be involved. We thank you even for the institution for giving us this platform. We pray that you will provide for each and every one of us the required finances so that we are able to pay for the courses, the therapy, and anything that may be required, the materials, and even the time. You will open for us the doors and that opportunity so that we will learn seamlessly. As we close our session this evening, we pray that you be with each and every one of us and guide us. Until next time, when you enable us to meet, keep each and every one of us safe, meet us at our different points of needs, where we may have gone against your will. We pray that you will remember mercy upon each and every one of us. For this is my humble prayer with thanksgiving. In Jesus' name we pray and believe. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much, Catherine.
Amen.
Thank you,
Amen.
everyone, for coming in, and all the best. Good night, and we see each other next week. God bless you.
Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you. God bless.
Good night,
God
everyone. Happy weekend.
John, karibu tuitishe chai.
Mimi sasa ni kuendelea na kibarua. Kwangu ni mchana sasa.
Oh, nimekuwa mchana hapa karibu na wewe, ndo nasema karibu nitishe chai.
Saa hizi.
I was having the class from town.
Yes.
Now I'm going home.
Now you're going home.
Chai next time.
Okay. Ukiwa town, me, I'm just around here. Actually, I'll be ending my night shift tomorrow. Next week, I'll be working during the day.
Oh, okay. No bad. Our school is in town, the main campus. So
Okay, actually, I
I
wanted
believe you know
to.
where.
I
Yes?
actually wanted to know where it is.
Oh, Southern House. We are at Southern House.
Mm.
Southern House is it's next to Moy Avenue Primary School.
Moy Avenue
Primary School. Moy Avenue Primary School is the farthest end of Moy Avenue.
Yes.
Just before you cross over to go to Central Police.
Oh, before I got sent to police.
Yeah, so it's the last thing on that end of Moy Avenue, or behind Clarion Hotel.
Oh, behind Clarion Hotel.
Yeah, or if you know Givenchy, you
Givenchy
cross,
Gardens,
that's
the famous
Clarion.
one.
Just below there, we are Southern House, 5th floor. That's where we have the main office. But if you want to find somebody like Emmanuel, the dean of the curriculum and teaching, you find him on 1st floor. Also, in counseling, that's also where you get, that's 1st floor. But we have calls. That number Emmanuel iko kwa group. You can call anybody and they can guide you.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
May John look for me, look for Ernest.
Oh, John atafute Ernest.
About the PSC, Public Service Commission, I will show him there.
You know, you are my colleague. We work with you.
Umurete.
Where?
Ernest,
My
we were
colleague?
working with you.
Yeah.
Ernest, we were working with him. I was lastly at the administration police office.
Very well.
I'm an officer.
Where?
I was working at SPB.
Jump over to PSC.
Yeah.
Okay, it is well. So good night. I know we'll catch up. We will be able to catch up in the future. Like that, we will keep on catching up.
Yeah.
Very well.
Okay.
Good night.
Thank you, and
Good
good
night.
night.
Ernest, I look for you kindly.
Okay. Please.
Okay, thank
please,
you. Please. Further, a little more.
MySpace account.